Welcome back to Light the Fuse, the only weekly Mission Impossible podcast that really digs down in the nitty-gritty of the franchise. Once again, this is Drew Taylor, joined by Charles Hood.
Hello.
And this week we've got something a little different, a little outside the box.
You had yourself a little Mission Impossible adventure.
Yeah, I had a real mission. I went to Palm Springs, well, actually Thermal, California, and I got to take part in some stunt driving. And we got to chat with some of the folks that helped make the stunts in Mission Impossible Fallout for the home video release. And we're going to hear those now, soon.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I did not take part in this.
No.
I was just jealously texting you.
Yeah.
Like a scorned lover. Just, what's happening now? What's happening now? So, I mean, yeah, I don't know how much you want to introduce each of these interviews or talk about what you did when you were there.
Yeah,
first.
Yeah, you won't be able to see me doing this, but I was actually in the car with Wade Eastwood, who is the stunt coordinator for Rogue Nation and Fallout.
And which car were you in?
I was in the BMW M5, the four-door. Yeah.
Okay. Was it the 86 that you were in?
Or no, it was not the 86. It was the it was a new one, and I think there must be. I think it's the one from the beginning of the movie.
Oh, they drive out of
yes.
in Berlin or whatever at the airport.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It gets the BMW wipe.
Yeah.
The title wipe.
Yeah, that's the one that I was in. And we talked with Rebecca Ferguson's stunt double on the motorcycle, who's heavily featured in the bonus features. She's like
on the Blu-ray.
Yeah, she's like a world-class motorcycle driver. And then I also talked to the helicopter coordinator for Fallout about the final stunt. And honestly, just listening to them talk about that, you tense up, and yeah, it was hard.
But when you were driving, he drove you around a track, or where were you?
He drove me around a track. Earlier in the day, we had done some driving ourselves, not anywhere close to the miles per hour.
So you drove the BMWs?
I drove the BMWs, and we also did a time trial with some Mini Coopers that was like Mario Kart, basically, where you drove as fast as you could, and then threw on the emergency brake and spun around and had to stop in a box.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And you got to did you land in the box?
I landed in the box. I won almost every time trial in that regard. But then
really?
the time trial in the BMW, I was a little bit more hesitant.
And this was like just a Paramount publicity event? Or
yes, it was at the BMW test facility in Thermal, California, right outside of Palm Springs. And you can go there anytime you want and just pay. It's like $600 and up. And you can drive these cars and get taught by all these like professional drivers. And
whoa,
yeah, I was scared. It was scary, but it was cool.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
And then being in the car with Wade, going like 148 miles an hour.
Really?
Yeah. And him like.
Was it? What's the track? Is it a circle or is it like a bunch of turns?
It's a bunch of turns, and it was really interesting because like it was interesting doing it ourselves earlier in the day and then doing it with him. Like, it's like
quite a difference.
Yeah. Because you have to like hit certain points. You go out. I learned a lot about driving in general.
So now you can navigate traffic in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
A lot better.
Yeah.
You know all the tricks.
All the tricks.
Did he tell you when to like to pull on the e-brake and?
Well, he said,
I assume it was a stick shift.
It was a stick shift. We all drove.
You drove automatic.
Yeah. Okay. He was flipping between the gears.
That just as an aside, it always bums me out how few people drive stick shifts now.
Yeah.
My wife and I both drive stick shifts. We feel we want to teach our children to teach when we have kids. They come, then we'll teach them how to drive stick shift.
I don't even know how to drive stick shift.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Who taught you?
My brother.
Okay.
My dad did not teach me.
But does he drive stick shift?
My brother? My
dad?
dad?
Yeah, your dad.
My dad, yeah.
Okay.
My dad, I think, taught probably I have two older brothers.
Okay.
And my older brother took me into a parking lot, and it was that BMW that I ended up destroying.
Okay.
That's the car that I learned how to drive stick on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and just went into a parking lot and just on a hill and just learned to drive stick shift.
Wow.
It was awesome.
Which parking lot was it?
This is in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Actually, Mill Hill Elementary School.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, my mom wants me to drive stick shift because she always says, you never know when you're going to be at a party and you're going to have to drive somebody else's car home.
Yeah.
But I've never needed to.
I think you have more control over the car, I feel like.
Yeah.
When I always feel weird when I drive an automatic car, my right hand just holds the thing that just puts it in drive or park.
Yeah.
My hand just stays on that, even though it doesn't do anything.
Well, I need to learn now. I need to
you
go back.
Doing it on the track.
Yeah. What was cool too is the car that we were in with Wade, which we'll all post photos of, had all the Mission Impossible logos on. It was a white BMW with the logos on
we'll
it.
we'll definitely post all the pictures.
Yeah, but it was really fun to get to do everything you're not supposed to do in a car. In that,
legally,
like it's not your car, slamming on the brakes, it was going as fast as you can. Yeah, it was really interesting.
Did they do the 360 turn over like 8 stairs or whatever the Tom Cruise does in Paris?
We were like doing something else, and I saw Wade in the car, and he was doing like crazy things, and there was like tire smoke going everywhere. But yeah, he didn't get to do that with us. Yeah,
that's so awesome.
It was pretty great. Yeah. It was fast. I'll have GoPro footage too of me
really?
inside the car, which I'll try to.
Yes, you got to get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
hopefully we'll have that posted as well.
Yeah. So the we're gonna listen to right now me talking to Wade and Jenny Tinmuth, who is the stunt motorcycle driver for Ilsa during the Paris sequence, and she's a world-class stunt driver. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Guys, thank you for coming on Light the Fuse, the official, non-official Mission Impossible podcast. Wade, you're one of the few department heads who came back from 5 to 6. I know McQuarrie wanted everything to sort of feel different in this movie. Was there anything that you did differently in terms of staging or planning these stunts to make it feel like a different director was on this movie, or a different vibe was sort of carrying over?
Not really, no. I mean, the action for me is driven by Ethan's journey and his sort of bravado, not necessarily, a little bit relentless and sort of non-consequential decision making that he has as a character.
Right.
That drives the action and the start of the action. It's not so planned. It's, nothing's premeditated. It's all on the fly, and he's got to complete the mission at all cost. Mm-hmm. He doesn't think about the consequence. So that is always something that drives the action for me, story-wise. Mm-hmm. McHugh wanted a different feel and a different look, so he had a different from the production design, the cinematographer and all that. He created a different look, but the action I can't suddenly change Ethan's fighting style on what he does, because we've seen him in 5 of the movies already, so I've still got to stay true to his character. All I have to do is I have the task of trying to create show-stopping action that's going to outdo Rogue Nation, outdo the last one, and keep the audience engaged and just keep topping things and getting bigger and bigger and better, which hopefully we did.
You guys both were on Rogue Nation also, and we've sort of heard how crazy a production that was. Did you ever give pause to doing another one, just knowing how sort of like, we'll figure it out, we'll write it while we're shooting it? I mean, did that ever sort of give you any pause?
Yeah, I loved it. Then
you loved it?
It was very stressful. Right?
Was it?
Yeah, oh God, yeah. It's massively stressful. It's like, I said to McHugh in the beginning in Fallout, I went into his office just before, we had many meetings and stuff, but literally the last night before we started shooting, I went in and shook his hand and said, let's go to war, I'll see you on the backside. Mm-hmm. Because, we might not be friends all the way through production, because I'm going to fight like hell for action, or he's going to be under huge amounts of stress to complete the task, and we all are. If we can have great days, and it's great, but we're there to do a job, all of us. Mm-hmm. And to do a job at the limit. It's like, in racing, and not everyone's great friends in the paddock. They are after the race, right, or before, but during the race, it's helmets on, visors down. It's time to go to battle, and that's very much what Mission Impossible is. We go to battle. We're on the same page, but we're all fighting our corner to be the best, each person to be the best, whether the best production design, the best, so if we change something, because, I think I want to put the camera, no, you can't, the set looks better over there, the lighting's better. So everyone's fighting their corner, mm-hmm. Which is what he wants. It's what McHugh and Tom want. They want everyone to fight for what each department to make it the best, and that's what makes it different. There's never a, well, this is the way we do it. This is my way or no.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. It's very much a team effort, and I think that's what makes a mission special.
Can you think of any major disagreement either of you guys had with McHugh and how that was sort of resolved?
No, I mean, we talk a lot and we just hash it out.
Yeah.
It's like it's never a major. Nothing's ever personal.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's nothing. And this one with Fallout was much easier. Rogue Nation was tough.
Yeah.
It was really tough, but the schedule is tough. You know what I mean? We have a schedule and a number to fit it into, and budget, and we've got to make it happen. And they're big movies, and in order to get Tom to do it all, we have to do so much training.
Yeah.
So when I tell them, right, I'm going to do 12 weeks motorbike and car training on 12 different racetracks to have differences around Great Britain at this cost, then I forget about it. It's not going to happen. I went, well, then the sequence isn't going to happen.
Right.
And then Tom said, well, the sequence is happening. And I'm like, all right, well, how do we then make it work?
Yeah.
Because this is what it's going to take. Unless after 4 or 5, you've accelerated beyond, but I've already put it in 12, whereas it should be 30.
Right.
Knowing that you're Tom Cruise and that you've got a high level and a high, ability level. And that was the reason why Tom got to drift the BMW on Rogue Nation within a foot every single take, 30, 40 takes with camera operators, and he was never out a foot on a full drift from 80 miles an hour. And how he got to ride the motorbikes and stuff on Fallout, and how he got to do all that stuff that looks in camera like, come on, that was cheated. There's got to be CG or a rig. No, there wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
It was in-camera action. Again, I trust all the stunt people around because they're at the top of their game. I don't need to take Jenny to the track. She's, the best motor racers in the world, the fastest female, and she's got enough accolades. I don't have to teach her. I can't teach her anything. I don't have the ability to teach her anything. But, Tom needs to be at his A game on every single discipline of action that he does. Helicopter, flying bikes, cars, boats, anything that he touches, he has to be on his A game, not just for him and for the action, but for the camera crew and everyone around him.
Right. We get to see a sort of deleted action scene that's on the Blu-ray with them swinging through the Palais. Yeah. Are you sort of excited for people to see that? Because I'm assuming it was a lot of work to get that done. Yeah.
Jeez, that was a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work. Up high, a lot of wire work, a lot of massive swings.
Yeah.
I mean, when we let Tom go, it was like a massive bridge swing. And we wanted to make it look like he's going to crash to the window the other side. And we took him within feet of that window on pure gravity. We just played with our points and our pendulums, and you put a weight bag on, and we put a stunt double to test it. And it was scary. You let go because you released yourself.
Yeah.
We had him on a little release himself, so he releases himself, and then you just drop, and you're dropping in vertical for, it was a 160-foot swing.
Right.
And then start accelerating again up the other side, and it looks like you're going to go straight through the wall and the metal stanchions. But obviously, as you slow down, it's almost kissing it, and then back in. So it was gnarly.
Because if these go wrong, your obituary will say the man who killed Tom Cruise. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's like that's why when Tom and I fly a lot, and we fly choppers and stuff together and go somewhere. I never want to go down with it because it'll always be like Tom Cruise dies in a chopper crash and some other guy.
Do you ever do anything low key with Tom? Just doing the crossword puzzle. Sunday New York Times.
I wouldn't do that either.
No,
I wouldn't. No,
no.
Drive me. I don't.
That's
I'm
scary
not
to
old
you.
enough to play golf. I don't do crosswords. It's that's probably why I like hanging out with him. It's always high action.
It's always full throttle.
Full throttle.
Yeah. And we're back, and now we're gonna listen to me chatting with Wade again. And Mark Wolf, who was the helicopter coordinator for this movie.
Helicopter coordinator.
Yeah, he did. He had to. He helped train crews. He helped design rigs, everything. So it's really interesting.
And you were going to go up in a helicopter with them, right?
I was going to go,
but it was raining.
But it was raining. Yeah, it was pretty bad here. Yeah, I think
you still had to sign a bunch of waivers, right, in case you died.
Yes, yeah, in case I died. Yeah, but I didn't die. I didn't get to go in the helicopter, but apparently it was great.
And you did get to speak with him.
And I spoke with him, and I got to ride really fast in a BMW. So,
okay.
Yeah, so here's that interview, and we'll be back to say goodbye afterwards.
So I wanted to ask you first about a scene that didn't make it into the movie that was in one of the trailers, but is not on the Blu-ray, which is this shot of Tom driving a helicopter towards a 16-wheeler or something.
Coming down and,
Yeah. Can you guys talk a little bit about that sequence, how it fit into the climax, and sort of why it was taken out?
That was originally one of the early ideas we had for the helicopter sequence was that Tom would fly down through a canopy of trees to try and lose the Walker helicopter, the Daddy helicopter who was chasing him. So he'd fly down through a canopy of trees. We're flying through this road, and then this truck's coming straight at him, which actually I ended up driving in the movie. And
oh, really?
Yeah. And then I would jackknife the truck, and at the last minute, Tom would fly up over the truck.
Okay.
So we scouted a whole bunch of locations in New Zealand, and we shot the sequence, which worked really well. And it just didn't fit into the movie. It slowed things down. It made it too cutesy and too detailed. The sequence was so grand and so.
It didn't have the scale
Yeah.
that
Right.
the rest of the sequence had.
Right. I mean, but does it like kill you when something like that is that you
there's loads of stuff like that, and we still did it. We still shot. It was still fun.
so fun? Yeah.
No, it was great. And he was super close to me. Like I would have to lock up to a mark. I had a log on the side of the bush that I would have to lock my cab up to and then jackknife the trailer. And he would just then change his mark to get closer and closer.
Okay.
And it was great. It was very intense.
Well, I hope we see it one day
Yeah.
on some box set
You see it
someday.
in the box set, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The extras.
Deleted scenes.
The deleted scene. Yeah, well, it's not on the deleted scene. That's why I have to ask about it. I have to get
right.
it firsthand here.
All right.
This is maybe the craziest sequence in all the Mission Impossible movies. Do you think there's any way of topping it? Have you guys thought about it? I know McHugh has said that he's already coming up with ideas. I don't know if he's reached out yet.
I think you could have said the same thing after Tom climbed the Burj Khalifa on 4.
Yeah.
Or hung on the outside of the A400 on 5.
Right.
There's always something. It's story related though. It's driven.
Yeah, it's got to be story driven. So, I mean, I think this helicopter sequence suited Fallout, and it was a great sequence. I'm not sure helicopters would suit the next one. If it does, then,
Yeah.
It was something also that Tom had wanted to do for years.
He's a passionate aviator, so he really wanted to do something with planes or helicopters. He did American Made, which was all him flying, fixed wing. Some amazing.
And now he wanted to do something with a helicopter.
Yeah.
And he'll want to do something else on 7 or 8 or 9.
Yeah. I mean, are you guys up to the challenge, though?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the fun part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any
Wouldn't
ideas?
be any fun if there wasn't a challenge.
Right.
You get such immense reward from when you go from concept, to training, to doing, to filming, to post production, to seeing the finished product.
To solving the problems and to deliver on someone's imagination.
Right, because this, I feel like this is an impossible mission. This sequence,
It was,
right?
Yeah, everybody said it couldn't be done.
Right. So how do you convince people that it can be done?
Well, you first get Tom trained, right? And, as an aviator who's a pilot already, to get him to that level of expertise of flying, you do that first, which Tom, so dedicated, he did it.
You go step by step.
Yeah.
Okay.
One step at a time, and you learn each time you go, and you expand.
Yeah, and the studios also have to be behind you because they've got this, this Hollywood star actor. But once they see his level of commitment and they see his skill set and the skill set he can do, watch him flying and see what he can do, then they relax with it because they want it as much as we do. It's just, the politics and all the implications of today's world that sometimes stop us being able to do the stuff we really want to do.
Yeah,
Right.
we wanted to build these rigs on the outside of the helicopter where there's very little structure to attach to. And I gave the producer, Jake Myers, a budget of $250,000. He says, I've just done Dunkirk, and we put a huge IMAX camera on the wing of a Spitfire, and it cost $25,000. How could this possibly cost 10 times as much? And actually, we spent more, and it was a huge, huge success.
Right. Well, speaking...
We needed the studio. We needed Paramount to sign off and say, yeah, we're behind this project.
Well, it helps too, and Tom's like the one making all the decisions.
Yeah, but Tom's also a producer, and he wants it, but he also respects the process. It's not unlimited budget.
Yeah.
We don't have unlimited money. We've got to be very tight on our resources. Paramount is a very unique studio to be behind us on some of the stuff we do as much as they are.
Yeah.
And this is the big stuff. I mean, I ratcheted Tom across the ground and smacked him into walls, and I've done so much stuff with him on these movies, and they always give us the trust and the support because they know that we always put the training schedule in, and Tom adheres to it. Tom is so focused on training and getting himself to that level. He doesn't want to hurt himself either. So it's you've got to give kudos to the studio for this major Hollywood studio. It's not an independent studio.
Right.
For allowing us to do the stuff we do.
And for
Well-
allowing Tom to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but they trust him because he's diligent, he's well prepared.
Yeah, he's superhuman. All right, well, that's it. I hope you liked that. I hope, Charles, you were made sufficiently jealous by that experience.
It was.
And
I think next week we'll have the start of our Eddie Hamilton interview.
which is really great.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And then fingers crossed, we'll have a special guest soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
see.
Yeah. For Charles Hood, this is Drew. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks again for listening, everyone. And before we go, another mission, should you choose to accept it, please rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. And remember that you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at LightTheFusePod and email us questions or comments at lightthefusepodcasts@gmail.com. If you'd like to watch the original Mission Impossible television show, all 7 seasons are currently available to stream on Amazon Prime. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.